He's going to be awesome.
Well, it also, real quick before you get into it, like the symbolism and the branding of the gold medal is one of the strongest in the world for anything. And I think that for football players, it's the only, I think, sport that growing up, it's like, man, I can't win it there. You know what I mean? I guess baseball, what do you mean?
Oh, you can't win a gold medal.
You can't win a gold medal. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I understand guys grow up, I want to make the NBA, but also it's like, oh, I might be able to also win a gold medal. Like, obviously, golf you can, tennis you can. And so I don't know. I just think I think that's why guys are going to.
Equestrian.
Sure. I just think that's why guys are. I think it's going to be more competitive to be picked for the team than you'd think.
Water polo.
You're such a jerk. Brew, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
that guys will want to be like to have that accomplishment.
Yeah, I do.
Bobsled.
For bobsledders, the only thing they've thought about is the gold medal.
Wow, someone is not familiar with the domestic bobsled championships. Okay, you've made a flag football dream team.
Yes. So again, do you want to explain the rules to everyone since you're the flag football expert?
Well, I'm a flag football expert, but I have yet to see gone through the full rules of Olympic flag
So
football.
It's 5-on-5.
In general, here are some treetops.
Yeah.
5-on-5, and then part of the rules about the NFL competing is you can't have two guys. So T. Higgins is like, what?
Right.
Same with Joe Burrow.
Only one guy per team. Yeah. It's 5-on-5. There is no, offensive line, and everyone other than the quarterback's eligible to. Well, I guess quarterback too, but
so you have 5 offense, 5 defense.
Exactly right.
Or Travis Hunter.
Right. So that's the thing. You only have a 10-person team, and you're playing 5 guys at all times. So you either have no bench or guys going both ways. All right, number 10.
Here we go. Oh, they're in order.
Yeah, 10. Yeah, 10 to 1.
Brock Bowers also on my team.
Brock Bowers. Because there is, from my study on this, some benefit to the guy who snaps the ball having some amount of size to him to kind of potentially slow up the other team's pass rush. And also, I just think catch radius, you know what I mean? You don't need to have a ton. Everyone doesn't have to be a burner. Number 10, Brock Bowers. Number 9.
One caveat, also under 25.
Well, that's an important thing. We're not pretending as if this is happening in a few months. We know when it's happening, the summer of 28. So you look 3 years down the road. Another young guy coming up, Cooper DeJean.
On my team.
No way.
Yes.
So he had an insane athleticism score for that raw athleticism score at the Combine. It was a 9.9 out of 10. It was like the 28th best of any defensive back ever measured in the entire history of the Combine. And there is real value, by the way, on interceptions. So here's the other rule about flag football at the Olympic level. Turnover on downs. If you force a turnover on downs, you just get the ball on your own 5-yard line. You don't get the
you don't get it where the ball.
You don't get the
interceptions
ball. Right, but interceptions you get it wherever you return it to.
Okay.
Number 8. Bijan. Now, Bijan, I think, had an underrated awesome year last year at almost 1,500 yards, but I'm also trying to thread the needle of youth. He'll only be 26 when the Olympics are. At that point, even Brew, I don't think Saquon's still going to be, what he is now. And the power back, like Genty or a young Derrick Henry, doesn't have as much value. Number 7, Sauce. I just think that's almost a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You have Sauce Wilds.
Correct.
Number 6, right alongside him, Patrick Surtain.
Had a question mark because he's 25.
He's 28 in 3 years.
Well, I had Cooper DeJean instead.
Okay. All right. Number 5, Micah Parsons.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the size, speed, and athleticism he is my one guy rushing the quarterback and can, potentially run a guy down. I think Micah's the, I don't want to say obvious, but yeah, the obvious pick.
One thing we haven't discussed, and I think this is important when we see USA basketball, you got to want to be on the team.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson really, Micah would be super into this. Especially since the Cowboys aren't going to win any hardware. He needs something in the trophy case.
All right, number 4, Jeremiah Smith.
Solid.
So he's the highest rated by my friends at Rivals, the greatest wide receiver prospect ever coming out of high school. Is the highest rated he's ever been. He's obviously, super young now, so he would be basically going, after his rookie year in the NFL, you would have some youth. He was unbelievable his freshman year at Ohio State. Number 3, the guy auditioning or, campaigning for it, Justin Jefferson. He'll still be awesome in 3 years. He'll be 29. Number 2, Travis Hunter. So, and more on him in a moment. And then number 1, the quarterback I would choose is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen, Patrick Mahomes. Who, again, his age, he'll be 32 when this happens, which historically is like that still in your prime years as a quarterback. So here the offense would be Patrick, Jefferson, Jeremiah, Brock Bowers, and Bijan, and the defense being obviously Micah, Surtain, Sauce, Cooper DeJean, and Travis, with the opportunity of, if we, want to go 4 wide, sub out Bijan for Travis, or if Brock Bowers, isn't having the impact. Travis obviously is kind of the cheat code in that he naturally can go both ways. KW?
Well, God forbid, and I hate to even mention this, but if Patrick Mahomes
retired,
let's say, during the Olympics, I would want to have 2 quarterbacks on the team.
So
I'm adding Lamar. If we're only actually bringing 10, or we bring 12.
No, you can only. So that's
you got to have 2 guys that can throw the ball.
So that's what I was going to ask you, Brew, because I initially had Jaden in the Brock Bowers spot, not Lamar. I had Jaden. I don't think you can go 2 quarterbacks.
You have to.
And then you're just going to ask multiple guys to go both ways?
If he has like a dental emergency and has to leave.
You got Travis, he can go both ways, right?
So
yes, that's right.
And so Travis, you're just playing the whole game at all times?
I mean, it's flag football. He's going to do it.
Yeah, he could easily do that.
Did you have any other?
I had Jamar Chase in here. I had Ryan Williams from Alabama.
Oh, okay. He's the other stud young receiver.
Right.
And, of course, after the news yesterday out of New England that Drake May, who is one of the – I don't have Drake May on the team. But Drake May, in his first 9 throws, was picked off by Christian Gonzalez twice. So I have Christian Gonzalez in for Pat Surtain, just because he's younger.
He's not better than Pat Surtain.
In 3 years.
I don't think he'll be better than Pat Surtain. The Brew, any issue?
No. I like your teams. I do. It makes sense. It's just a different way of thinking, you know what I mean, about the game. So I like those teams. And obviously you're not going to get a better thrower of the ball than Mahomes. So
my one caveat, this is going to sound strange. Are we so far ahead of the world in football? Is it going to actually be more? Is this team going to be actually more dominant than the Dream Team?
I don't know that you could be. The Dream Team never called timeout. The Dream Team. Here's the thing.
There's an opportunity we could look. The whole NFL, and it's the NFL, is trying to get a one-on-one for Justin Jefferson. Well, now you have to be a one-on-one on Justin Jefferson, and you're just a guy who played a little football in Switzerland.
The world is so far behind in football. Now, tackle football.
Right, that's the thing. I
don't know how much farther they're behind in
You guys tried to convince me. You guys forget it, but I remember all the arguments. Not you guys, that the Doucette guy might be better in an Olympic flag football setting than Patrick Mahomes. That the guy playing quarterback now for Team USA might be better than Mahomes. That was 9 months ago you were making that argument. So,
I just was trying to
we should route everybody.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's not going to be close.
So
Florio threw out there, will countries offer naturalization, like similar to what France tried to do with Embiid or did do or whatever?
Yeah.
Will they be like, hey, to such and such, you want to play in the Olympics and you're not sure you're making Team USA? Like Jamar Chase, somebody awesome. Like, we will make you a citizen so you can come play for us.
It is interesting. Just one final note on this because I love flag football. What the seeds of the dream team are still sprouting today.
Oh yeah.
When we see Jokic and Giannis, and just
they're
the
sprouting
growth
a little too much
of the of the growth of the game internationally. So I think that will be interesting. Not only so
I think that's why it's 32-0. That's why the vote's interesting.
Yeah, and the women's flag football is becoming very popular.
Yeah.
So football has been a very masculine sport, but now it is opening up the aperture for everybody.
On that note, just very quickly, at first blush, I was surprised that not only this had a chance of passing, but shocked it passed unanimously, because in the short term, you would think team owners would be like, NFL teams are pretty usually worried about themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so I'm putting my best guys out there at the risk of injury or whatever it is, and maybe missing a little bit of my off season, all of that. And my guess is it was 32-0 in unison with Goodell talking about, hey, here pretty soon we want to have 16 international games a year for that exact reason of what if we can, get more great players from elsewhere in the world.
All right, moving back to the NFL. It's okay to be vulnerable in life.
Wow.
But not if you're a division champion. Judy Batista compiled a list of the 8 most vulnerable division champs on NFL.com. Detroit, Baltimore, Eagles, Rams, Houston, the Bucks, Kansas City, and then Buffalo. We're going to look at the Ravens. Look, they won the AFC North 2 seasons in a row, have a QB who could be the MVP every year, have no apparent roster holes. Steelers and the Bengals are in the division, and they could threaten the Ravens if Rodgers decides to sign with Pittsburgh. That's an argument. Or Burrow is in one piece, and Cincy can finally avoid a slow start, which you've been asking for, Brew. Do you think this is disrespectful to the Ravens that they are ranked as the second most vulnerable division champ?
No, because when you look at the teams on the list, I don't think they're this vulnerable. And I don't agree with her that the Steelers with Rodgers will challenge them for the division title. But you look at, all the teams on the list were good. It was Detroit.
Yeah.
Is number one.
It's the 8 division champions.
I think Houston, I think, is third. Yeah, it's all the division champions. So, you put good teams on there. The division, it remains to be seen how good. It's going to be physical, and Cleveland can beat you, even though they're a bad team. They might be able to beat you in a divisional game. Pittsburgh, of course. But it remains to be seen how good, because if Pittsburgh falls off, like I've been saying, first losing season under Tomlin, Cleveland's not going to be very good. Cincinnati will be good, a tough game, but I don't know if the division will be quite as good. But outside of that, and I got the Ravens absolutely making the playoffs and being a Super Bowl contender, but the schedule is crazy. I don't know if we can throw the schedule up, but outside of the division, they got Buffalo, Detroit, and Kansas City in their first 4 weeks.
Well, they have a tough
Buffalo,
opening
Cleveland, Detroit, and then Kansas City.
Yeah.
No, that's the. Then you got Houston, the Rams, Chicago, if they end up being good, breakdancers in Miami, Minnesota, and Green Bay.
So they
got a tough schedule.
This is going to be confusing for the audience because I actually think this is very disrespectful to Baltimore because it is putting far too much faith in the Bengals. Like the Browns are a cross-off, and to me, as far as winning 12 games, the Steelers are a cross-off.
Yeah, not winning 12
and
games.
so this is, to me, my questions about Baltimore are well established, but they are all playoff related. Baltimore is a surefire, excellent regular season team at the very least. So to say that Baltimore is threatened more by Cincinnati than Philadelphia is by Washington, I think is wrong. Detroit is, I understand why they're the most vulnerable because all the teams potentially being good, so they're a separate category. So it's just the teams beneath Baltimore on it. I think while I am very high on the Rams and not as high on the Niners, I think you make a very strong argument that the Rams are more in jeopardy than Baltimore because of the Niners. I think, man on island, I get it. Houston's in jeopardy in their division because of the upgrades that Jacksonville has made in the offseason. But by the way, you're kind of laughing at me. I think Brew probably would be more surprised by Cincinnati winning the North than Jacksonville winning the South. I would be. And so
you said more surprised?
I don't think no one has explained to me why Cincinnati's season isn't going to be the same. They
got a new DC. That's what people are putting their faith.
Yeah, that's it. Like by the way, here's the flip side of the new DC is we drafted a first rounder on defense. By the way, he's the only first rounder who's not participating in anything because the team can't get a contract done. And we drafted him because our star defensive end wants a new contract, hasn't gotten one, and he's holding press conferences and golf carts saying, you guys don't respect me. Yeah, and so people are assuming Cincinnati is going to fix its problems from last year. I don't know how. And I just would be shocked if Baltimore doesn't win 12 games. Feels like when Lamar's healthy, they win 12 games.
Yeah. There's a lot of losses on the schedule.
Well, what are you thinking they're going to go?
Are they due for a 10-win season eventually?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.